Hello, everyone. Now, first off, you may be asking, what exactly are we doing here? Well, we all have a story that makes us who we are, but often that story doesn't come to light. People who want to know others' backstories, but they don't have the opportunity. Hi, my name is Jordan, and that is my goal with this show called Beyond the Ink. I want to go past the weapons and the tournaments, the smaller details that make each person of this community tick. So with that, let's go beyond the ink. And for our first episode, we have none other CryptikSpoon.
What's
How you
up?
doing tonight, Spoon?
I'm pretty good, pretty good. I'm actually like insanely good, but we'll get into that soon. But let's just say
Yeah,
I've had a couple of sleepless nights of overexcitement, jumping a bit, scared the shit out of my fiance a couple of times. So yeah, I'm doing fantastic, man.
yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that a little later. So nice surprise for all of our viewers. But first off, let's get into a little about you. How does that sound?
Yeah, I'm down. It's what I'm here for. I think.
Yeah. Okay, so first off, tell us a little bit about yourself, specifically like hobbies, interests, and things you enjoy doing besides Splatoon.
I enjoy playing Splatoon. No, I'm just messing. I have a bunch of other things that I enjoy doing. Basically, if I'm not playing Splatoon, I play a lot of other games. I'm basically a big gamer. I think everyone is. Like lately, for example, I play Persona 5. If I'm not playing games, I'm hanging out with my fiance. I'm cooking. I'm doing housework, or I'm working. You know what I mean? But like a large portion of my time is based around Splatoon, whether it's playing it or doing things for it. I'd say most of my free time is actually that. And then whatever free time I have is mostly spent with my girlfriend because this consumes so much of my time.
Okay. And I've seen you play Persona 5 quite a bit recently, so do you mind telling us a little bit about that and how you got into that series?
I got into Persona back when I became a giant weeb like 4 years ago. I got like super into anime. I had like a really big surge where I just got like super into it. I watched one show. I don't remember what it was. It was probably something really stupid about like a harem or something. And I thought it was like the greatest thing ever. And then from there, someone recommended me Persona, the fourth one, and I was like, this seems stupid. I don't care about romancing girls. And then I played like 3 hours of it. And I was like, oh my god, I really care about marrying every single girl. And thus became like my favorite game of all time was like all the Persona series. So I've been trying to grind really hard through that game just to beat it. I'm like at the very end right now, and then I can finally like release myself from that and actually work on things, which is what I should be doing. So yeah.
Okay. What can you tell us about how you met your girlfriend?
Um, I met her 6 years ago at a concert. I met her at Warp Tour. I was in line for a band called Forever the Sickest Kids because I was a giant emo kid back like 5 years ago. And I really, she was in front of me and she was going for an autograph for this band. And then I was like, they started singing this song because they were all edgy together. And I saw her and I was like, oh, that's my favorite song. Let me add you on Facebook because I was super smooth and didn't ask for a number for some reason. Uh, and she's like, yeah. Sorry, that was like actually 9 years ago. I've only been dating her for 6. And then since then, we actually started talking every single day from that point on. We dated other people for a while, but then, yeah, after 3 years, we kind of just realized that we should be together. So that's what we did. And then, yeah, so I'm getting
Oh,
married in
that's really
August.
sweet.
Yeah, getting married to her in August. And yeah, life's good with that.
I'm very happy for you.
Thank
Is she as big a weep as you are?
No, oh god, no. Like talk about like opposites on a lot of things. Like she's totally into like the whole comics and like superheroes, and she'll watch the occasional like anime or two. Like we've watched a couple together, but nothing to the extent of me. And she's not a gamer whatsoever. Totally is supportive of what I do and like what I like, but will not verge into that path. Like I know my boundaries. I know that I can't get her to play, so I just I won't do that.
You do what you can.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
I got her to play Snipper Clips for a bit, and she loved it because they made like evil, angry faces, but like did not care about the puzzles at all. She's like, "Oh my god, the faces are so cute." So yeah, that's my extent of gaming with her. I've realized that I'm very much going to be solo on that. So
Have you shown her Splatoon at all?
oh yeah, like she's watched me play Splatoon, but she will never get into it. She won't even understand what it is. So she just knows that I like it and that I do a lot of things for it. And she's like, "Yeah, I support you," and like that's okay. That's all I need. I don't need someone who plays games with me. I'm completely okay doing that on my own.
Okay. So that's kind of the here and now. What was it like for you growing up? Like any favorite memories from when you were younger, experiences you want to share, stuff like that.
When I was younger, I don't know. Like what was I like when I was younger? I was so I have a sister. She's 2 years older than me. And we kind of had like an inverse thing where when I was a child, like a really young kid, I was a terrible child. I was like the guy who needed a football helmet because I'd bash my head on the wall when I throw tantrums. This is like when I'm like 3 or 4. And my sister was like the calm baby that did nothing. And then in our teenage years, I was like that clean kid, did nothing wrong, just minded myself, obeyed my parents, and my sister was like the complete opposite, like wild child. So we modeled out there. Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, now we're both like, I think we're decent human beings. But yeah, that's that was through the teenage years. Yeah, I've a very interesting life. My dad lives in Washington. My mom lives in Ontario, and I live in Quebec, Montreal. I speak 2 languages. I speak French and English fluently because Montreal is a unilingual French place. So actually, I speak more
Right.
French than I speak English, probably, even though English is my first language.
Okay. Did you learn French in like school or were you
No.
taught it growing up
You
or
have to learn French in school here, but it's like you don't learn. You don't learn languages reading it, right? Like I
right.
learned it more when I was like 15, 16, and I was starting to actually work in a job, and like I realized I really needed it. And so you kind of just start picking up the pace really fast just through other people communicating with you. That's kind of like the easiest way I learned, because when I was in French, like I understood it, but I was never really good at it. It's only once I really started working did it really start becoming more of like a fluency. So yeah, maybe 15, 16 was when I was like really knew I would learn it.
Okay, that makes sense. So how do you feel your younger years and the experiences and lessons that you've learned have helped you with playing Splatoon and interacting with the community?
Well, I mean, I guess I'd probably have to say like, what is, uh, who am I? I mean, I started playing games. Um, I started playing games when I was like 6. I'd say 6 years old, maybe. I was. My dad was like a big tech guy. He still is a really big tech guy. And he was one of the first people who had like a computer, like one of those DOS computers.
Hmm.
And I used to play like those like football games where they like had football with like little dots on them and stuff. Like even pre-Oregon Trail, like you're talking like really basic like Pong level shit. It was like really basic, and I got into that from there. And then I remember when I was like 8 or 9, maybe a bit less than that. I got an N64. I had a Super Nintendo, but I don't remember too much of it. I was too young to really remember that. and I didn't like have any games that I could recall that I loved. I mean, like I definitely played a bunch of Super Nintendo, but nothing where I was like, damn, this changed my life. I'd say it's mostly when I got Nintendo 64. I got a Nintendo 64 and I started playing Super Mario 64. That probably like really got me into it. And I was like, oh my god, I need to consume everything to do with video games. This is the greatest thing in the world. Totally got into it. My two things that probably got me really into like defining who I was today was like games and music. I'm a big music guy, a big musician along with those. So
Okay.
yeah, so I started doing that, and that's around the same time I started playing my first instrument, which is like piano and violin, at a young age. And I quit both really early because I started pacing through the books of learning before the classes got out.
Right.
Um,
Do you still play instruments? What
yeah,
kind of
yeah. I
music?
mean, like, I was that was my previous job actually. I have a degree in sound engineering. Before I
Really?
did anything I'm doing now.
Okay.
So I used to record bands regularly. I used to work in a record studio. I recorded a band called Half Moon Run. If people know them, they're pretty popular, at least in Europe, from what I know. So I did that throughout my college years or whatever, and I worked at a studio for a while. And then after that, um, yeah, now I work for a payment processing company in customer service because I was really good in sales and customer service. I'm a really good people person, so I got into that. But yeah, before that, I played a bunch of instruments. I played guitar, bass, drums, like keys. Those were like my main instruments that I was really into, and I helped accompany a lot of people. So yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of what I did. That's a little bit of my life.
Yeah, sounds like fun. I can relate to the instrument playing. And that kind of leads into my next question with like early video games, early memories. You mentioned like, or was that when you really started getting into Nintendo?
Um, So I actually really got into being like a I don't want to say Nintendo fanboy, but like super into Nintendo. It's probably when I how do you say actually only a couple of years ago, I'd say. Like I was always into Nintendo. I've always had Nintendo consoles. I had a GameCube, I had an N64, I had a Wii, I had a Wii U, obviously, and I have a Switch now. So like I've had every Nintendo console, but I wouldn't say I was really dedicated to them. Like I wasn't like looking at every new release Nintendo had. And I was like, damn, I need to get it. I was really big into like Xbox for a while. I was a big Halo guy. And then, like, even now, I'm a big Sony fan. I really like PlayStation. I really like all the games that are on it. But it was only once the Wii U kind of came out and they started having more exclusives, like Splatoon and I don't know. I guess I got nostalgic. I started realizing how much I actually really enjoyed playing Nintendo games from when I was a kid till now. And then I guess the Wii U kind of revitalized that in me where I was like, damn, Nintendo makes actually really good games. And Splatoon just kind of changed me in that. Like I was always a big guy who liked shooters. Um, like I love shooters. Like I said, played Halo 2. I was really, really good at Halo 2 back in the day when I was really young. So Splatoon just kind of fit. It was like that game where I was like, damn, the motion feels real good. I like the shooting in it. The second I saw that E3 trailer, I was like, I need to get this game. And I picked it up right away and I loved it. So yeah, answer your question. I pretty much only like Nintendo, like really got into Nintendo. I'd say like recently, probably after the release of Splatoon, I was like, damn, I'm super down on Nintendo.
Yeah. And that also kind of covers my next question, how you got into Splatoon, because obviously you got into it because if you didn't, you wouldn't be here.
Um,
So,
like I said, I got into it just by watching E3. So, another thing about me is like I'm really big on like gaming media and press. Like I love watching news of games. I like E3 is like I live for watching E3. I took days off to watch that stuff. I'm totally into everything to do with consuming games, media, rumor mills, stuff like that. Like I'll absorb all of it. Sometimes I'm into it more than the games themselves. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but I love it. So when Nintendo had their Nintendo Directs and they had Splatoon, I just saw like these squid kids and I'm like, this is so Japanese. I fucking love it. So I instantly saw like the shooting mechanic and the paint, and I was like, this is right up my alley. I was getting tired of really like gray games. And I was like, oh, this is a shooter multiplayer that I could play with friends. Like nothing competitive, just I can play with friends, have a good time, you know? I was missing out on like a good multiplayer game that I could play with a bunch of my friends. So when that was announced, I was like, damn, I'm going to get everyone into this. We're all going to enjoy it. We're all going to have a good time. So the second that game came out, I picked it up instantly, and so did all my friends, just because I was like, you need to play this. And yeah, that's basically how it kind of started. I don't know. Do you want to know like how I got more into competitive, or is that another question you're about to ask me there, Jordan?
That's kind of my next question. It kind of helps you know what the questions are, but hey.
I'm not actually looking, to be fair.
Well, okay, yeah, I'll give you that. For non-competitive friends, still play Splatoon?
No, none of them do, but they all live vicariously through me. They kind of get a glance at the scene every once in a while. They see what I'm up to. Like they, for example, watched the U.S. Inkling Open and saw that, and they're like, "That's pretty cool." So like they're totally down. They like looking at it every once in a while and glancing at it, and they're pretty excited to play the second one, but nothing to be like they're not gonna hop back into it right now, you know what I mean? Like they've moved on to like other games while I'm still stuck in the past apparently.
Yeah, so they kind of understand the basics, but they're not as
well. I mean, they totally played the shit out of the game for like 2 months. I mean, they all played it for the whole launch and up until the August update when Private Battles came out. But that's when they kind of fell off, and then I just kind of stuck around because I found people to play with. So
that's a nice segue into my next question. Why did you choose to play competitively?
Well,
because you didn't and you did.
It's weird. I didn't kind of choose to play competitively. It just kind of happened. I started out on Reddit, which is probably like the most casual community of Splatoon that we've had. So I just met a group of people, and I saw that there was a Discord server for Splatoon at the time, and I was like, damn, like I just want to go in and see what's up, right? So I started seeing that people were talking about Splatoon and just talking about the game. And I saw like people were making teams, and I was like, oh man, this is so cool. I want to go into this. Cause I started realizing that I was reaching like a skill cap in my play where like, not my friends were bringing me down, but just like, I felt like I could do a lot better, than what I was supposed to do. So I found some people on there and decided to just form some pickup groups to just play some squads, like nothing serious. And then I met Xena, who was the admin of that server at the time. And we got invited to like an 18+ chat for adults because we didn't want to like talk to all the kids all the time. So we got into that chat. That's where I met Blake, Blackstar D2. He works with us all on staff. He co-owns InkTV with me. And it was just like, I knew him as a guy who had a child and was fucking old. And then I realized he wasn't that old. I just assumed because he had a kid, he was really old. So yeah, that's how I met him. And we started just playing a bunch of pickups. And Xena started making a team for a bunch of tournaments who were coming around. And I asked Xena if I could join her team, not knowing if they were good or not. I was just like, damn, I want to play, you know? So that's when we made a team called CQC, Close Quarters Combat, or whatever you want to call it. We named it a lot of things, which I'm not going to say on stream here, but it was just a bunch of friends from Splatoon. We were good friends with a team called Choke Squad a while back, who was also a Reddit team. We were basically like the two sole Reddit teams that started playing competitively. And on our end, it was still a casual team. We only really got into competitive after a couple of months. And we started with like a lot of people, and then it started winding down to more like 6 to 8 people, and we made 2 different teams. And then I started. I was originally a Tentatek player, like the splatter shot, and I was like pretty good at it. But what happened was we got dominated by Creme Fraiche at the beginning of the game when it originally came out. They started playing 2 Dynamos, 2 Chargers, which is it's like shit comp, right? But back in the day, we didn't know any better, and we thought it was the greatest thing ever. So we were like, damn, we need a Charger on the team because they dominate the game. And I was like, oh, I'll be the martyr. I'll play Charger. So I picked up a Charger. So I started playing Charger for CQC for basically the entirety of my entire competitive career playing. I've just been an E-leader. I got really, really good with it. I started to get a little bit known. People were like, damn, like this is a pretty good Charger. I was like, sweet. Like I didn't think I was amazing, but a lot of people looked up to me apparently from what I've heard.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, so that's the initial start is like me going from Reddit, realizing Reddit was like very casual, and then finding out that there were still some people who were really interested in playing just as friends, and then we slowly became more competitive as we realized we started to get better at the game. So yeah, that's the start of my Splatoon career and how I became an E-leader.
Okay.
Not because I liked the weapon, just because we got bodied by another team so hard with the Charger.
And you're one of those E-leaders that, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't like Moray Towers.
Yeah, well, that just in general, I just find it a boring map. It's a boring game. You just kind of sit in one place and you just win. And like the Charger's only really good in the mid game. Like you could push aggressively, but there's only specific spots you can go. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. It's not fun. It feels very stagnant and boring.
Okay. And then after CQC kind of dwindled down and eventually disbanded, you guys formed a group called Cute, correct?
Kinda.
Or was that a little later?
It happened a little bit later. So what happened was when we were in CQC, we met people called JFG, Jet Force Gemini. And this was people like Leo, CA, Tim, Resbit. Like I've known Resbit for a while, another E-leader, and we've always been pretty tight. But JFG had 2 people named Leo and CA. And we just had a blast talking to them. It wasn't even like a competitive thing. We just thought they were hilarious. And we were all shitheads, and we were like, damn, these guys are great, right? Like, we can have fun. We can talk about, I don't know, like, just being stupid. Like, just being dudes, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So we met them, and then CQC kind of just had a fallout due to, like, roster switch ups and stuff, and a lot of us not having confidence, so we just kind of disbanded. We thought it was better. And I kind of like played for a couple of teams. I played for like Second Wind, and I made some pickups, and I did okay. But I was never like super happy. But at the time, JFG kind of broke up, and everyone kind of took a little break. And CA was always like, yeah, we used to make a joke when we were playing pickup squads, me, Leo, Blake, Swift, and CA, like, damn, we'd make a team called Cute because we're cute girls. Well, we're not cute girls, but you know what I mean? Like, we're just being idiots.
Right.
And it kind of just stuck with us. We liked the name Cute. And then CA was just like, I don't know if we should make a team, you know, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, we just I dwindled him down to be like, CA, we're going to make Team Cute. It's going to happen. And CA was like, okay, actually, I lied. I had a whole server and all the icons and everything planned out like 6 months in advance because he has like ADD and just decided to create all of this stuff before. And we're like, okay, this is a legit thing. It's happening, right? So we called up Leo, and Leo's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm down. You know, this is going to be awesome. And then we're like, but we need a Dynamo player because this was one of CA's mandatory requirements. He's like, yeah, we have a good team, but we need a Dynamo player. All the Japanese people are playing Dynamo, so we need a Dynamo. And I was like, okay. And so we picked up Vera, who was off IU, and he's a popular YouTuber. And we were like, yeah, Vera's cool. And Vera's like this innocent little guy that just like, he fit with us because like he just was so innocent to all our crude humor, and it just made for amazing moments. I'm not going to get into it now. It's just way too offensive, but yeah, you could type in a lot of things with Cute on YouTube, and you can probably find some things about us. So yeah, Vera was like the innocent one, while all three of us are just like the worst human beings in the world. And we also had Blake who joined up. We were like, damn, we need a fifth player, you know? And everyone's like, oh, who's a good support player? We're like, oh, we got to get Blake. He's got that chain gun there. And he played with CQC with me. Me and Blake, good buds. We were like, we could totally do this. And so we got Blake along with us. So Blake is also a shit poster like the four of us. So it was like four guys and Vera, just this innocent guy listening to us going, I like this. And that was fun, man. We had a blast. We did really well when we started out. We won a bunch of tournaments. We won 2 tournaments, finished like second, third place, doing really good. And we just like loved spending time together. Like even now, like they're still like some of my best friends. Like I would still consider them some of my best friends in real life and in the game. I love all of them. But it just got to a point where like CA wanted to leave for personal reasons, and Vera wanted to go because he started to play more casually in the game. So we started to find replacements, and that's when the team started kind of like teetering in terms of skill, and we realized that competitively we probably weren't going to work out anymore. We did add Tim a little bit before the end, and we loved Tim too. We also added Walkman
Right.
near the end, and we still love them. Like that, they're still part of the cute fam. You know what I'm talking about? But
Yeah.
yeah, we ended up falling out. We tried to revive it by adding another team in, but that didn't work out. So Q ended up dying.
Rip.
But you can't kill a team that's dead. You know what I'm saying? So Q will live on forever. That's our logic. We still have our chat of Q members, and we still talk. We still have a great time. So don't regret it at all. I love talking to all of them. So yeah, I'd say like that's a huge moment for me in Splatoon. It's probably what kept me around for so long was those guys. Even now, it's still a huge reason why I stay around is because of those guys in particular, at least from like a playing standpoint. So yeah,
Okay.
that's
And
my career.
then
Actually, just to finish up, then I left them, and then I joined a bunch of like teams. I kind of played for Salinity a little bit in Ludi. And then I joined Team Moist, which I'm still technically a part of, but we're kind of inactive because I'm so busy and everyone's so busy lately. Yeah, I'd still love to play more competitively, but I feel like the direction that I'm heading right now is becoming less and less of an option, and I'm slowly more and more accepting that fact. But there's still that urge in me that wants to play and, you know, kick ass, but yeah, may not happen.
yeah. And there was also Team Ultima, but that was just kind of
Oh, we don't talk
there,
about
and
Team
then it
Ultima. No,
wasn't.
I'm just messing. We made Team Ultima. We thought it'd be a good idea, and then we just never ended up playing because of the busyness thing again. Like I said, my life and career in terms of Splatoon kind of started changing focus around that time. So trying to dedicate competitive and then trying to do other things just doesn't seem to work all the time. You kind of have to shift your focus a lot. So I think in the future, I'll definitely be playing competitively. Like you'll definitely see me playing at a high level, but being the best is definitely not my top priority anymore. So
Okay. And then I guess the elephant in the room regarding your shift in focus in career and the fact that both of us have worked on both of them in InkTV. What can you tell us kind of like how those got started, and BNS first because that came first, but like how did it get started? What made you want to do it? What made you want to do it for so long? Change focus from BNS to InkTV. I know that's a lot of questions, but just
so
tell us about
so basically, what made me change focus from being a competitive player to a how would you say like more of an administrative role in the community? You'd say.
yeah, management, event organizer.
Okay, so kind of what happened was I met Blake, and with that kind of came like we kind of gained notoriety within the community just for being like these cool dudes from Cute. I'd say Cute is kind of when we got really popular. Like CQC, people kind of knew about us. They knew about our team, this rising team. But it was really when Cute happened that people started realizing kind of our personalities and how much we love joking around with each other and having a good time. And so that kind of raised people knowing about us. And we thought like, basically what happened was a lot of the things that I do happen because of boredom. And and this isn't an exception. What happened was we started playing in tournaments and we realized they took a long time. And this was when a lot of the community was getting really fed up of just waiting around for things. So we
Right.
just started creating things simply because we thought we could do them better, kind of cocky, and because we thought we could do some things. So throughout just playing competitively, I tried to find ways to make things better. Like people are saying right now is that, like I started creating like a Japanese server so that we could enter tournaments in Japan, try and get like the Japanese community involved. And that was kind of the start, but it didn't really go anywhere after a while. But it was fun while it lasted. We made some teams, tried to compete in tournaments. I competed in a couple of Japanese tournaments, so that was cool. But yeah, then after that, we started getting to more tournaments where things took forever and speed tests kept happening, and like no one was happy with it. So I went to Blake and it was like, "Hey Blake, do you want to run a tournament? Because I just want to prove everyone that we're really good." And at the time, we were creating a ladder for Splatoon so that people could rank up and have automatic matchmaking and that work out. But we didn't think, one, we didn't have a lot of money, and two, we didn't think it would be popular enough, or we didn't think people would have faith in it without anything. So we were kind of like, hey, let's run a tournament, just one tournament. That's like the rules we want to run because we fucking hate quick respawn. We hate invincibility specials. Like this was the time when everyone was really salty about that. And we were like, yeah, we hate that too, you know? Like we play it, we hate it, no skill, right? So we made that tournament and then we're like, we hate DC rules. Like lag's going to appear no matter what. So we kind of like made our own rule set. We kind of like dropped everything and made whatever we wanted. And we're just like, we didn't care what anyone said. We were just like, we're going to do it. And if it works, like it works. And so on top of it all, to be even more egotistical, we were like, we're going to call Blake and Spoon. We're going to call it our names, and we're going to run it on our streams, and we're going to run it on our Twitter because we want to get that mad follower account. And that's exactly what we did. We didn't go away from that. Not going to lie. We totally tried to whore ourselves out. And yeah, it was great. So we did that on the first one, and we ran a stream with it. And at the time, people were like, damn, this stream is pretty cool. It's very like laid back. It's very casual, you know? And people really liked that aspect of it. And people also really liked that we were about how strict it was. It's kind of funny. It's like the appearance of the stream is like we're the most laid back people in the world, just talking about teams, you know, 4 people on a casting couch, just be like, what up? We're casting some games. And people love that. It's like a ESL type StarCraft 4 people tournament thing. It was really cool. I loved it. I casted all of them. Blake ran the stream. I ran the tournament. And then we got a couple of our friends to run the cast with us, just shooting the shit, you know, like nothing too serious, very laid back, and everyone was all for it. And that first one got really popular. We hit like the top of the streams for that whole first week. And me and Blake went and said like, well, we know we can run a good tournament and a good stream. Let's just do it weekly because we're stupid. And so we decided to run it every week and have that exceptional rule set. And we kind of created a community within the community of people who really loved that rule set and loved how we talked about the teams. I feel like we really got players known through it too. Like not to toot our own horns, but like for example, Kotetsu Riolu, no one really knew about him before. And then we were just like, let's highlight him. Let's talk about him. Let's put him on stream and show how good he is. And like, look at that now. Now he's on Yami. Now he's like a really good player. People know him as like one of the best boozlers. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We had Taylor. No one really knew about him. We were like, damn, like Deep Blues, this guy's fucking awesome. Let's get him on. And he got popular. And like, it paid back because everyone who was on there became dedicated to us. And we kind of created this community where people wanted to be streamed. People wanted to be part of BNS. We saw the same teams come on every week. On a Thursday night, we had like 25 entrants every single time. So it was really, really cool. Just building that community, and we loved doing it. Like, we would still love doing it now. Like, it wasn't really that we wanted to stop doing it to because we didn't like doing it or it was like crazy hard. It's that we just thought we could do better. And that's kind of how that changed a bit. But yeah, we did a bunch of things on BNS. Wow, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you ran 18 tournaments under that name. You had a stream on a Thursday night,
Yeah,
which
every
is
Thursday
obviously not an I.
at like nine
It's
o'clock at night most of the time, Eastern time.
yeah, which isn't obviously an ideal time slot, but you'd still get 20 plus entrants. You get over 100 people, especially towards the end,
Yeah,
watching the stream. You
yeah,
get people freaking out,
yeah, and everyone
which
loved
is amazing.
watching it. Like if you weren't playing it, spectators loved watching it. And that was great. And I'd say that we had like a really dedicated viewership too, because we ran a donation stream for our Thanksgiving one, say giving back to the community, and we like raised almost $850. A lot of that coming from us, to be fair. Like we donate a lot, but like a lot of the people on our stream just donated a shit ton, and we were so thankful. And we gave viewer giveaways, we gave swag away to teams from all over the world. It was awesome. It was a great stream. Definitely like a moment I'm pretty proud of the community, proud of us just for running it and managing to get everything together. I learned some lessons about shipping costs, made us a better person for the future, I guess you could say.
Yeah. And as that evolved, is that kind of where InkTV started?
Kinda. InkTV is kind of like, how would I like to say? It was very much a different thing. We weren't really thinking about it at the time. Like we just ran BNS every week because we liked running it. We thought it was cool. We thought everyone who was part of it was just like loving it, like it was just a fun community. It was a fun time. Everyone
Yeah.
had a good time. Like it was just meant to have fun. That was really all it was. We never really expected it to get bigger than it was, but it got pretty big. And then I guess what happened was it was near February when we started running our last tournament. People just kept saying that they needed more. Not from us, just like everyone was kind of like we're just missing things, and the community's kind of there, and there's no money and all this stuff. And I kind of agreed with it. Like I wanted something a little bit better than what we had now. So I kind of went to Blake and I said, Blake, do you want to start up the ladder again? Because we kind of put it on hiatus because BNS got so popular, we didn't think about running anything else, so we kind of stopped the ladder. So then in February we said, let's start that back up. But with that comes, we can't run that BNS anymore weekly. Like it was too much work.
Right.
So we killed BNS just due to the fact that we wanted to get that ladder going. And it's still in production, guys. Don't worry, it's coming. I know we say that all the time, but it's actually coming. Yeah, basically we killed it so that we could work on that. But in the meantime, I'm not a software engineer, so I can't really do much while I wait for that to program. So I got bored. And I kind of just went to Blake. By the way, if you don't know, like me and Blake have been running the tournaments, and we kind of do everything together for some reason. It just worked out that way. Entered the same teams, entered whatever. Just kind of happens. So that was it. So I went to Blake and I was like, hey, Blake, I'm thinking about starting a production company, specifically for Splatoon, and we're going to cater to Splatoon for everything. And Blake's like, sure. And so we started it. It's nothing more advanced than that, and we could have never have expected how popular it got over the short time. We've only started this like maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
So we started InkTV, and when I just started, it was more just out of boredom, and I was like, you know what? I want to do things that no one's done before, at least in Splatoon. Like, I love listening to podcasts. It's all I listen to when I go to work. I love running the tournaments, but I wanted more. Like, our tournaments were fun, and they were good on production compared to most, but I was like, I want to raise the bar. Like, I really want production. I want it to, like, shock people how good it is. And I want, like, our content to be good, and I want weekly content, and I want stuff filling out. I want it to kind of be like a central place you can go to on Twitch or YouTube and be like, oh, this is where I can go for like anything Splatoon related, like competitive, news updates, actual tournaments running, the ladder, like just a good central point. And so that's kind of what it evolved into, and we started making out plans for our podcast, making out plans for this cast, that you kind of brought along. Yeah, that's kind of how it started. Like I said, we didn't just do this alone. We had a lot of staff on. We had like 4 people on BNS, and we were slowly starting to pitch to sponsors. We were like, we wanted to put monetary value into BNS, but then we figured with the type of content we were doing, where we were swearing and shit posting a lot, we were like, we can't really do that. So we decided to kind of rebrand, and that's when we went for InkTV. And we took the people along who were helping out with marketing and helping us with tournaments and organizational stuff, and we brought them along, like you, Jordan, and Jack
Right.
and Adidia, and then we added more people on InkTV, like animators and editors and all this, and then we laid out our plan and exactly what we're doing, and we started to become more professional. Actually, I'd say after what's going to happen, but I'll let you introduce that. We had to start to kind of man up really fast in a short amount of time.
Yeah, because after the U.S. Inkling Open, something exciting happened that we will get to at the end.
Yeah, so basically what happened is now we stopped BNS. We ended up going into the U.S. Inkling Open. U.S. Inkling Open was our baby to get us started. We got in contact because me and Blake, we previously ran a tournament called the SSS. Well, Blake ran it. I kind of helped out. I commentated it. And it was a tournament that Nintendo hosted with Battlefy. And we were like, yeah, this is cool. You know, like I'm down to watch. I'm down to cast this. I'm down to play this. So basically Blake still stayed in contact with a guy named Firestorm who ran the Battlefy tournaments. And Nintendo announced the US Inkling Open, which got you a trip to E3 and a bunch of other stuff. And we were like, damn, this is a good opportunity for us. Like, we wanted a big tournament and we wanted good content out. We were just going to run a plan of like running podcasts, steady weekly streams, but we thought we would get the chance for this. And it happens to be that because we were on good terms with them, they were like, yeah, we'll let you try this out. We'll let you use InkTV as a way to do this. So we got the gig. And we decided to maximize it. So we had a test fire. They were like, you can run the qualifier, and if Nintendo and Battlefy approve, you can run the final stream. And we were like, okay, we really got to show it off. So we started making player spotlights. We started like making streams more animated. We tried to change the pre-game lobby to make it more advanced than what other people have seen. Just like really thinking about things and trying to make it as high quality as we possibly could. So everyone would look at it and be like, damn, this is so different. So we ended up doing that basically. We worked super hard. I worked every single night on it with a bunch of people, all our staff, which I'll thank after this. It's just we have a lot of people, and it worked out well. And Battlefy and Nintendo were like, we love that qualifier. Run the finals. So we ran the finals, not expecting anything. We were expecting maybe 300 viewers for this, but then Bill Trinan, who's one of the higher ups at Nintendo, Miyamoto's personal translator, and that escalated really quickly. We went from like 1,000 viewers to like 2,000 viewers peaked on that stream, and everyone kind of really was like, oh, I never thought Splatoon could be competitive before, and everyone was really into it. Everyone was super down. A bunch of people stayed. We retained a lot of people throughout the whole tournament. Bill Trinan was super into it and loved it so much. And then that's when we started realizing that we have a good viewer base. We have a good follower base. We have to keep this momentum. We have to keep doing it so that when Splatoon 2 comes out, we have a way to do it. So we started to get more serious. We started registering as a company. We started to figure out what we'd do. We started to try pitching to sponsors now. So we're starting to get more serious, and it's starting to become more of a company than what it was just before, where BNS was just a bunch of us running a stream and tournament, having a good time. Now it's become more of we still want to have a good time and really do things, but what can we do to try and make the community itself actually better? And not only that, but us too. Like, I'd love to do this full time. Like, obviously it won't happen for a long time, but it'd be nice, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what everyone wants. I'd love for the Splatoon competitive community to have everyone have full-time jobs playing the game, running the game. So I think we're kind of in the direction where we can start doing that. And I think that's what we want to strive for, is to try and get people into that direction and start making players known so that this can happen, and get sponsorships going our way so we can actually get money into the scene. And I think that's our big focus now, is we really just want to try and get events going. So yeah.
And I guess to kind of piggyback off of that, what kind of events, not really spoil too much, but what kind of events can our viewers be expecting from InkTV?
Well, like you said, we've already been running a weekly podcast, Ink Radio, where we get 3 people on and we just kind of talk about content and stuff, way less personal than what this is.
Right.
Where we get 4 people and we talk about having a good time. Like we said, we just launched. This is a pilot episode where we're talking about people in the community and what we do. So you're going to see a lot of players on here, like potential people who are interested, top people in the community, just talking about their lives. And then we're also going to have a newscast that's coming up that's on YouTube exclusively, talking about news updates. We also have some tournaments in the works. I can't announce really too much, but just know that we have tournaments in the works. And our ultimate goal in the end is to have LANs with people. So yeah.
Okay. And to kind of go off of that, what are some things that you've enjoyed in this community, seeing as you've been in it since pretty much the beginning?
I'm sorry, just repeat the question. Sorry about that.
Yeah. What kind of things have you enjoyed in your probably 2 years in this community, since you've been here probably since launch?
I'd say I really just love hanging out with everyone. It's not so much that, how do I explain it? Like, everyone's like, oh, I stay because of the friends, but I'd say it's more than that. Like, I'm one of the few people, I get a lot of satisfaction from working on this stuff. Like, it sounds weird, but like, we put a lot of work into it, but I'm proud of all the work we put into it. I'm proud of all the work we put on a stream. I'm proud that people are happy about it. That really keeps me going. I really, really, really love doing this, and just knowing that I put a lot of work into it, and it pays off. So that's kind of why I stick around. A lot of it's, to be honest, is actually the running of the events why I stick around. And then every once in a while I get that urge where I'm like, damn, I just want to play competitively again. I just love the game. I do love the game. I love watching it. I love playing it. And I think just running the tournaments just keeps that drive going for me. And then on top of it all is just the people I've met, like Blake, who I've run all the tournaments and events, like, is probably one of my best friends that I've never met. You know what I mean? Like, everyone who's on staff on InkTV, I consider really good friends. Like, these are people who probably have more personal relationships with than most people, especially when you get older. You know, it's like, for the most part, it's me and my fiance. So, like, everyone on there is some of my good friends. So it's a lot of it's just friends and building the community that we've had. And everyone always says, like, oh, we have a bad community or we have a good community or whatever. It's like, the community defines who you're hanging out with. If you're hanging out with shitheads, you're going to think it's a shitty community, you know? I think it's fantastic. I think we have great people who really want to work hard. Like I said, InkTV would not be possible with just me. I can't run all of this. Blake can't run all of this. It became a thing because we just had friends and people were like, damn, I really want to help this. I really want to do this. And they just started running it. So yeah, that's what it is. Just love the people, love the game, love the drive I have to work. Like, it makes me feel good to work on this, as opposed to a lot of other things. Like, I'm happy to work on this stuff and make it better. So
I'd say that puts you in a pretty nice position, because there are a lot of people that are just like, I don't really want to do this, you know.
Well, I think actually
you
that's
have
one
the
of the things.
passion.
Here, word of advice for everyone, okay? If you have an idea, just do it. Like, even if you think it's stupid. Like, for example, I'm a very opinionated person, and I've said some things to people before too, where it's like, I think your idea is stupid, and I go, your idea is stupid. Doesn't mean you should stop writing it because I think it's a stupid idea. You know what I mean? Like, prove me wrong. Like, a lot of people said what I was going to do was stupid. Running no Kraken, no bubble, but look what we got with that. People said things that we were doing was stupid, and now, look, we ran the US and Clean Open stream, and it was fantastic. So I just say, if you want to do something and you feel really good about it, just start doing it, man. Like, that's basically what I did. Is just I just started doing things because I wanted to do it, and it worked out.
I mean, it's kind of like I mentioned on Twitter, this idea in the works since October, and now here we are.
Yep.
So,
Well, like it's
yeah.
saying for Splatoon, actually, I had a friend talk to me about it. He's like, how'd you get to where you are now, kind of like doing this stuff and like enjoying what you're doing and everything? I was just like, honestly, it's kind of half luck and half us working. We worked really hard on a lot of things we did. Like, people think we don't, but we do work hard. It's just we enjoy what we're doing. And then the second thing would be is like, we just happen to get contacts at the right time in the right place, and we happen to do the right thing and shift with what the community wanted. So yeah, that's kind of what it is.
Okay. Speaking of the community, what do you feel moving into Splatoon 2, community could possibly do better to better ourselves with each other, with the outside world, with Nintendo, etc.?
I'd say like the number one thing that I would say to people is that two things. I think people really need to actually focus on playing the game. I think in terms of communication and like strats and stuff, we're way behind compared to other shooters in terms of communication. At least from a playing side. I think from an infrastructure side, I think everyone needs to stop focusing so much on rule sets and tournaments and outcomes and all this stuff. Like, we have like 8 bazillion tournaments, and none of them have a prize pool, and none of them really matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, no offense to anyone who runs tournaments. Like, I love the fact that you guys are trying to do things. It's not what I'm trying to say, but everyone should strive to do better on things. And it's not that you're not trying. It's just like, people should be striving to like make their stream better, make it top notch, make it so that people come into it and it makes it very interesting. The same way that you should be wanting to try and get sponsors. You should be trying to want to advertise for Splatoon 2 and get that bigger infrastructure. Like, everyone I see who runs things does everything kind of half-assed and doesn't go all in on it. And I feel like people have to start going more all in into things and just doing it. And like, I think people get scared too. People get scared that, oh, I don't have viewers right away. Oh, I don't have this right away. It's like, that shit doesn't just happen right away. Like, people just become magically popular overnight. You have to actually work at it. Yeah, that's about it. That's what I'd say is the biggest thing. I think people need to do that, and people just need to shut the fuck up on Twitter. That would just be more my other thing. That's about it. I have a lot of opinions,
Well,
but I
that's
don't
probably
I don't
not
I don't
gonna happen.
advertise them. So, yeah.
Okay. So just kind of start small and get bigger over time.
Yeah, and just think about the future. I think most people aren't business savvy in Splatoon. I think people don't think about what they can do to better things. I think you need to have a business sense, and I think a lot of people miss that. You need to look at the bigger picture, how you want to grow your brand, how you want to grow your tournament, what can you do to incentivize things. And I don't think people don't think about that enough. They just think about the next thing that they need to do. Like, oh, I want to run a tournament. Oh, I need to run a tournament next week, and I need to run a tournament next week. It's like, calm your tits and just think about what you actually need to do to make this more popular. Because you see a lot of things stagnating. It's like, yes, Splatoon 1 is technically a dead game. We're not going to get a lot of viewers, but you should try and think of ways to improve it so that when Splatoon 2 comes out, you're at this point where it's popular enough that people will want to go back to it afterwards. Because in Splatoon 2, let's say it gets really popular, you might see people who offer a big prize pool, and where's your tournament now? It's nowhere because you don't have that. You didn't think about what could possibly happen in Splatoon 2. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, with Warner, what are some of your favorite memories from the first game?
Playing with Cute. That's probably my favorite memories. I love CA's voice. That's probably one of my favorite memories, is just listening to CA's voice all day. I love that. I loved, I'd say its most recent one was the US Open. I don't think I've been happier since this past couple of weeks, man. Like, so much has happened really fast. So much has changed. And yeah, like, I'm super excited. I'm super stoked on everything that's going on right now for us. So I'm Yeah, I'd say like most recently, just everything with the U.S. Open has made me like incredibly happy, super proud, and it's one of my greatest memories. And like I said, hanging out with the cute guys, meeting everyone from the tournaments, and just like generally hanging out with everyone from the community. Like, there may not be people who could constantly talk to me, but the people who do talk to me, I feel like we have a good bond, and I'm always happy when people talk to me. So, yeah.
Oh yeah. And I'd say we definitely have a good staff and a lot of hard workers to really make this special.
Yep.
Um, what are you excited about for Splatoon 2 on the Switch?
Spectator mode.
Do you
Sorry,
want
it's
to
so brief.
expand on this or
I mean,
spectator
I'm excited about the things we don't know about the game yet, more than anything. I like learning about, like I said, I'm a huge media person, so I love learning about new reveals. That gets me so excited. Like when the game comes out, I'm going to play the shit out of it. I'm going to love everything about it regardless, but I love learning about things slowly dripping out. I love that like release of a new weapon and you're like, "Damn, I'm so excited about this." So yeah, I'm excited about the stuff that's not announced yet more than the stuff that is announced because we kind of know what that
Okay.
is. Yeah.
Okay. And I guess to circle back to something that I talked about early, how did you get into like being interested in all the media and the leaks and being a big, I mean, media person?
Podcasts. I was really into games when I was young, like I said. So I just watch all the gaming stuff. I used to be really into GameSpot back in the day when Jeff Gertzman was on. And then now he went to Giant Bomb, and I'm super into that and Easy Allies. And like I just love those personalities. And I kind of look up to them in a way because they kind of just started like grassroots type things. And it's kind of things that I want to achieve, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I see a lot of myself in a lot of what like the game journalists are. So I don't know. I kind of look up to them and I love listening to them. So yeah.
Okay. And then the last question that I have before we get to a few viewer questions, what are some types of things you'd like to see in the future with Splatoon as a game, with the community, and with the content that we create, we
Um,
meaning the community, just
I want to
stuff like that.
see biggest thing I want and biggest goal I have is I want sponsors in Splatoon. Not like team sponsors. I want sponsors for tournaments. I want LAN events with big sponsors, exclusively Splatoon, very focused on the competition and actual money coming in. That's like my biggest things I want and goals I personally have. Is just that. I really want that to come in, but you need that with good production and good everything. And I look forward to seeing that kind of stuff. From the community as a whole, I just want to see like everyone not being stupid. I think everyone's pretty stupid. I don't mean that in the sense of like you're all like you're of lower intelligence. I just mean it like I think everyone needs to just calm down and take a chill pill and realize that not everything's a big deal and things can just go away if you just don't talk about them. But I think that'll go away when you get a larger scene. I think we're very closed. We're a couple of hundred people who are pretty on. So that creates a lot more drama because we're so much smaller. The larger it gets, the less you'll hear about those things, and people will start focusing on like just the play and those players who are really good, as opposed to just like anyone who appears in the community. Because the thing that we have right now is like anyone who joins the community can technically get popular just because you're simply part of the community and you talk a lot. So I think that'll change where the competitive players are actually the spotlighted players, and like people who actually run things are the people who kind of get more notice within internally, not externally, and the players get no more notice externally, and then all the stuff in between, like someone who just likes the game is just kind of there. And I think that's fine. I think that's what you need for esports. You can't just have like drama on Twitter all day. So yeah, that's kind of my thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just money, better tournaments, better lands, better competition, and people really just focusing on the game more and like good play, and then like the personalities of those players. Like I really do like personalities of people. I think that's what really drives people to like people. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. Would you say we have a good chance of being esports someday if all the right factors fall into place and people kind of figure things out and be, we really have something here? So they take a step forward, put a little more work in,
So I think
and
this. I
things
think
evolve.
I think this is going to end up being very esports. I think the esports will come from us being grassroots. It's gonna work a similar like Smash level where Nintendo will help us, but it's not gonna be like this gigantic thing that comes up. It's gonna be just it's just gonna be us grabbing sponsors. And I think there's a huge possibility of that at the beginning of Splatoon 2. You're going to see a large viewer base. The Switch is really popular. It's a game they're really gunning for. So I think the viability of sponsors being interested is pretty high. So I think we have a chance of catching it if we can hit it at the beginning. And I think hitting the beginning is really important. And then from there, keep going. So, yeah.
Okay. Now we also have a few viewer questions. Chaotic asks, what is some of the coolest Splatoon related swag, including shirts, stickers, mugs, etc., that you have either seen, thought of, or both?
I love the squid pillows. That's about my answer. I have my teal one like right over there. I love it.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Splatoon thing I've ever gotten. It still is. That is it. There's nothing better than the squid pillows.
Okay.
What? I'm just being real here.
Yeah. I mean, I can't blame you because those were some of the hot items that you gave away for BNS Splats Giving.
Oh yeah,
so.
actually, if you were in on that conversation, me and Blake were like, "Okay, we have all this money. What can we get?" And I'm like, "We need to get squid pillows. Like that is confirmed 100%." And we went with it. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, actually, the other thing. Hold on. I'll grab it.
Okay.
There we go. It's the actual hat. My favorite hat in the game as an actual gear piece from Woolly Rhino. We gave these away too. Those are my two favorite things. I love these, man. These are the best. I love this shit. So yeah, super stoked on it. I wear this all the time in winter. So yeah, this is the best piece. I'm sorry, I can't believe I forgot you, my baby. So yeah.
Shame on your spoon. Okay. So SKR Bob asks, how did you come up with your name? Because CryptikSpoon's not come up with. Like, I'm gonna be called CryptikSpoon.
Oh yeah, you're gonna laugh because I fucking stole it. This is a long time ago, like maybe 8 years ago when I was like a kid. I was watching a StarCraft 2 stream, and people used to post in viewer questions on GSL on the Korean station, and people would just post really stupid names. So Artosis, the caster, would have to say it. So he said a name called CryptikSpoon, and I loved the name, and I thought the question was really funny. And so I just started calling myself that. I'm like, yeah, I'm CryptikSpoon. And it just kind of stuck, and like I looked around, and there was never a CryptikSpoon ever again. So it was obviously just a name for that. So I took it, and now it's mine. And now ever since then I've kind of gone to an adjective and noun, an adjective and cutlery as any of my names: ominous fork, curious knife, CryptikSpoon. Yep. Now everyone knows. I did not think of it.
You're a thief.
Yeah. At least for that. Like I said, I was younger. I'm 27 now, so a little bit more mature. I hope.
Okay. Well, I don't know about that, but hey. Asks something that we've kind of already touched on. Do you feel that you'll ever be able to play on a competitive team again? Or his exact question is, will you be part of a competitive team again?
Who was this? Who answered this?
DeBoss.
Oh, DeBoss?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't want to rule it out. Let me be real here. Like
Okay.
I think where we're going right now and how things have been going, I don't think I'll be able to allocate time to be competitive unless something happens where I get offered like a salary. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just don't think there's time in it for me. If it starts out small and like I can get popularity doing that, and like if we do get money and someone picks me up, I'd say yeah, maybe. But yeah, we're just really busy. That's the issue. I don't have a lot of time. So I'd say I'd love to. If teams picked me up and I could play, I'd love to. I mean, DeBoss is my boy. You know, we've played in a bunch of tournaments together, and I love playing with him. So I'd love to say I play again. I still always have that itch. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that's a good thing to have, and it's a good thing
Right.
to drive yourself towards the community. Like, is having that itch. It's a big reason why I want to run tournaments is because like I still have that itch to want to play and be that type of player. And when I think about like if I was spotlighted or if I had that highlight, I'd be like so down for it. So it's the fact that I want to continue playing that kind of makes me want to do things in a way that I do them. So yeah, I'd say I'd love to. I'd
Okay.
love to play on a team again, but I've kind of accepted the fact that it might not be a possibility. So let's put it that way. If it does happen, I'm happy. If it doesn't happen, I've accepted my fate that it probably won't happen. So
I mean, you have to admit this Ink TV thing that we kind of got going on. It's pretty cool in and of itself.
yeah, it's awesome. I love doing it. I love everyone on it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll
Aw,
see.
thank you, Spoon. Okay, that's everything I've got question related, both questions I had and questions. So for coming on, Spoon.
Thank you for having me. And hopefully in the future we get other people from the community, you know, other players other than myself, who works for Ink TV, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a good first
I mean, over
episode. It's a
time,
good way for us to get know what this is about. So yeah, I'm glad everyone got to know a little bit about me, a little bit about my serious side, a little bit that you get to know that Ink TV is a little bit more serious, not as casual as we did on BNS, but still the heart's there, you know. And that overall, like we're all nice people. I think no matter who you are in the community, everyone's pretty nice. And I think this is a good show to showcase that everyone's a good person, or has their own type of
yeah,
quirk or
and
something. So
well, we're all individuals, and it's like I basically said at the outset. I want to where we know people as more than just, oh, you're CryptikSpoon. You were a really good leader on Team Cute, and now you're the head of InkTV.
yeah,
True statements, but
yeah,
I want
kind of
you to be
weird
known
how
as
that worked
more than
out,
just those
but
things.
you know. So
Well, you know,
yeah. So I guess
and
before I get off, I want to say a thank you to everyone on Ink TV. I'm gonna go through everyone on Ink TV staff right now because I'm thankful for everyone on it because they make it what it is. You know, Adidia, Blake, myself, Hermes, you, Jordan, Pace Cat, Pixel, Ginja, Nine Whole Grains, Red, Uberu, and Jack. Love all those guys. Love everyone on the staff. Also Hitzel. I mean, Hitzel's not technically on staff, but he's He's gonna commentate a lot of our stuff, and I still love the guy. So thank you, Hitzel.
yeah, and I will basically know over the span of Beyond the Ink's life, I do want to have everyone on Ink TV staff, but I will space it out to where it's not a show basically TV staff because that wouldn't look too good. But
Yeah.
yeah,
All right. So now that's done, I think we're gonna get to the moment that everyone is waiting for, where I haven't slept for 2 days because I'm so excited. Let me tell this. Should I tell the
and
story?
the moment,
Should I tell
yes,
the
I mean
story?
it.
Let's drag this one out. Let's make it very very
I mean
exciting.
it's a moment that you haven't gotten virtually any sleep for the past 2 nights. The night after I learned about it, I didn't fall asleep until about 7 a.m. Actually, 8 a.m. my time. I had to convince my parents to let me do this, and they said yes. And it's just,
All right.
it's
So
insane.
Let me get right into it real quick. Is basically we ran the U.S. Inkling Open, and Bill Trinan retweeted us a lot, and it was awesome, and we got a lot of viewers, and it was really, really, really cool. And so we thought that was awesome, and we started getting in contact with Nintendo just because like they really liked our content and they wanted to show the footage, and we're like, yeah, we're totally down. Like we did it because we wanted viewers and you want our content. Like we're super down for that, and that's already amazing. Like I was already super excited about that. But then Bill Trinan happened to love our cast so much that he offered all of us on staff tickets to E3. And we just had to pay our flights. And it started out as 5 people. And then it turns out that everyone on staff pretty much is going to E3, and we're going to cover the content of the event and all the Splatoon players and everything. This isn't Nintendo who's doing it for us, but we decided we want to cover it all for you guys from the Splatoon perspective side. So we're gonna film it. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna have podcasts after every day, and we're just gonna have a great time.
And it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, so we're excited.
We want to share as much of this with us as possible. So
yeah, so we're all going to
of us will be
Cali,
chipping in and doing something.
And that is going to be for those of you who are wondering who are going down. Besides just the people, just before we get to like the people we have going is going to be Blake, who co-founded InkTV, me. I'm heading down as well for that week of E3. We have Jordan himself, who is coming down for E3.
Hey.
We have Adidia, who helps us run our sponsorships and basically keeps us managed because she's the most organized person and we're not organized. So I'm happy that she's coming with us, and she's coming down. We have Uberu, who does all our artwork and is just a great artist in the community. She's coming down to 9-Hole Grains and Hitzel. Both casters from the cast are coming down. We have Red Star, who does a bunch of our overlays and backdrops, coming down for us. We have Jack, who does a lot of our organization and writing, who's coming down. Well, she already lives in Cali, but she's going to E3 with us. We have as well Hermes, who's coming down, helps us write, get all our content going, our modes, our maps, helps with news stuff. So all, and sorry, how could I forget Gingerbread Man, a guy who did all our sound engineering, is working on future content that's coming soon. Really excited for his stuff. All of us are heading down, and we're staying in the same location, and we're all going to go to E3 for 3 days, and we'll cover everything Nintendo. We'll cover the floor of E3. We'll cover our thoughts after the events, and we'll cover, of course, Splatoon and meeting all the people from Rising Moon and the Japanese teams, and maybe we'll get an interview out of them. So we're excited, guys.
And don't forget Deadbeat, the team that won the U.S. Inkling Open.
Yeah, man. Everyone. We're going to see everyone. It's going to be awesome. And I'm super excited. I can't believe that this has happened, that we're getting free tickets after E3 is basically sold out. Oh, man, it's amazing. So,
by Bill Trinan himself.
Yeah, Bill Trinan himself sent us it. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was Nintendo, which it is. Like, thank you, Nintendo and Bill Trinan. You guys are the best. But, we actually got direct conversation with Bill Trinan, and I've been talking to him, and I've been screaming like a schoolgirl ever since then. And, yeah, it's amazing. So, guys, we going to E3, boys.
I know the interview's over, but I have to ask, has it sunk in yet, Stu?
Oh, yeah, man. I'm in full hype mode. Like, I haven't been able to sleep. Like, the second I heard about it, it was like at 2 o'clock in the morning, we got this notice saying that he was going to give us tickets. And at that moment, I couldn't raise my voice, but you heard me whispering going, yeah. And I couldn't sleep, and I woke up. My girlfriend normally wakes up at 6 o'clock to go to work, and I normally wake up at 9. So I actually waited for 6 o'clock to tell my girlfriend that I'm going to E3, and there's nothing she can do about it. And she went, "No, there is nothing I can do about it. You better go to E3." So, yeah, I'm not calming down. I haven't calmed down. I don't think I'm going to calm down till the actually event starts. I'm just so stoked about it, guys. Like, E3 is the thing I've wanted to go since I was a kid. Like I said, I'm a big media guy. So I love the announcements. I love the conferences. I used to take days off of work just to watch E3. So the fact that I'm actually going is literally a dream come true. Like, it's one of my bucket list things that I wanted to do. So the fact that I can do it with like some of my favorite friends, like
Aw.
just in like not even just on the internet, just like some of my favorite friends, just hanging out, having a great time, and then going to the event I've always wanted to go to with the Splatoon community is like I can't even. I'm so excited, dude. Like,
That's
oh
mind
my
blowing.
god, I can't wait. I can't wait. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, that's it, guys.
Yeah, that's Beyond the Ink episode 1.
Yeah, hope you have a good time. See you guys later.
Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed watching it, and see you next time.